Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a suburban mansion that may or may not resemble a certain, I don't know, movie house that may or may not have been mostly abandoned on Christmas Day and leaving a particular individual home alone. I don't know, it might resemble it, who knows. Now, I haven't designed an interior for this house, but I would kind of like to. However, only if you guys are interested in it. If this video, say, manages to get, I don't know, 2,000 likes before next year, which isn't that far away, it sounds really far away, but it's not, then I'll design an interior for it, and I think that I could probably, hopefully, make it quite good. Here is the amount of space required to make your house. Please do make sure that you have enough space in your world. You may even want to make the grid if you do feel as though it will help you out. And here are all of the materials that we will use throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of these. It's also possible that we will need more stuff than this throughout the build that I have simply forgotten. Step 1. Come all the way over to the front left hand corner of your grid, if you've made it, and then count to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then inwards a further towards the center 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, perfect. This is the starting point. Begin by placing a deep slate on the ground and extend it to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Extend forwards by 2. 1, 2. Then extend to the right by 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. And then extend inwards by 2. 1, 2. Right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then take a sideways view of what we've just made and extend this block to the right by 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now looking back at what we've made, we then want to extend this block to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then forwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right by 22. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. We can then extend inwards by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to the right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we should be able to extend and connect all the way back to where we very first started, and this is what we will end up with. So the next thing that we are going to do is mark out where all of the details on the build will be. This sounds like a difficult task, but if we begin all the way from where we very first started, which is right here, we want to place a brick on the very first deep slate, extend that to the right by 1, place 5 upside down smooth quartz stairs going right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then place 1, 2, 3 bricks going right, extend the bricks forwards, 1, 2 along the base, extend the brick to the right by 1, and place 5 upside down stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then place a row of 2 bricks, 1, 2. We then want to mark out this area by extending the bricks outwards by 1, just like this. So next to the initial brick, the second brick that we placed here, we want to place an upside down stair, black concrete, gap, black concrete, upside down stair, and then brick, extend the brick out, and just down below like this we want to mark this area out specifically for later. And then right of this brick we want to place another brick, and then 5 upside down stairs, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we want to place a couple of bricks on the end, like this. So I don't want that to be too confusing, so just to give you a little bit of a look, there we go. We are just marking out where the entrance will be later on. So continuing our way around, we want to extend these bricks backwards along the base like this, and then we want to extend to the right by 2, 1, 2. Place 5 upside down smooth quartz stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 bricks on the end. Then moving around to the right side, we want to place a brick extending backwards with 5 upside down bricks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 bricks, 1, 2, 5 upside down brick stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 bricks. And then extending along the back here, we're just going to place bricks along this corner and extend forwards, as it's a little bit different. But what we can do is lay the foundation for the kitchen area, or what would be the kitchen if I make the interior. So, from this deep slate, we want to place 6 polished granite extending out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, extend to the left by 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then extend inwards by 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then join back in. So, it should end up looking a little something like this. And speaking of these particular sorts of parts, we have another one to add. So, if along this deep slate here, what we can do is place 8 bricks going right on top of the long row of deep slate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we want to, with the deep slate, extend outwards from this deep slate, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then to the right by 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then extend inwards, double upon that row of deep slate, so make it 2 rows high. And then later on we will refine this particular part, but I want to have the large windows and stuff taken care of thus far. So now that we have, or first of all I should say, not thus far. So now that we have the double row of deep slate, we are just going to extend this row of bricks all along the back, forwards, all the way to the right like this. So it should be quite simple really along the back. There's not a lot of big windows, or at least not in the actual structure of the building that we've got laid out now. Now this right side of the build is very similar to the left side of the build. So we will extend this brick forwards by 1, 5 upside down brick stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 bricks, 5 upside down stairs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then join forwards with a brick, just like this. This is always the favourite part of the build for me. I love when the floor plan is laid out and all we have to do is just realise it. So now that we have reached this point right here in which the extra rooms are we've laid the foundations for, and we've done the same for the windows, we are going to go around every brick and extend them upwards by 11. So let's start with this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we are going to do this to every single brick. Not brick stairs, not deep slate, not quartz. Every single brick. Next up, we are going to work on building in all of the windows, and we may as well start right at the front left-hand side of the build. we've started everything else here, why not continue the tradition? So at this point in time, I realised that these quartz stairs here should actually be upside down brick stairs. My bad. So once these have been replaced, we want to then use upside down smooth quartz stairs on top of the brick stairs. They want to literally just go directly on top. Behind these, place polished granite, 3 layers of tinted glass on top of the granite, 1, 2, 3. Place polished granite on top of the glass, then place bricks in front of the granite. Place upside down brick stairs on top of the bricks. Upside down smooth quartz stairs on top of the upside down brick stairs. Polished granite behind the quartz stairs. Place 3 layers of tinted glass on top of the granite, and this should extend us up to the top of the build. Now, this is optional, so you may or may not like this, I'm not sure about it. I've been replacing the middle upside down quartz stairs using a polished diorite slab. You may like that, you may not, that's up to you. Now, we have to do this for every single front window on the house, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Remember to replace the upside down quartz stairs with upside down brick stairs. Every other window space that we have made is identical, so as long as you remember that, you can't go too far wrong. We also have some work to do on the sides of the build. Both sides are equal, so on the sides of the build, it's going to work like this. The front window space, which is this big giant area here, we essentially want to cover the entire area in using granite, except it wants to be set 1 row backwards. This is going to allow us to place things like fireplaces and chimneys, and it's just a nice little bit of variation. So this is how it should look to start with. Then to make room for the chimney, we're going to knock out the 3 middle rows of material and replace it using polished granite, extending all the way up to the top, and we'll make it extend out probably 2 rows or so just to start with, but it'll probably have to extend up a little bit more than that ultimately, as the roof is probably an extra 5 or so rows above the brick line. So as long as we've got it all marked out nicely, it's something that we can definitely do later. So this is the chimney. This is what it should look like so far. The next thing to do is for us to leave a gap of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this 5th block will place bricks either side of the chimney, and then upside down brick stairs left and right, just like this, and that should evenly separate the area. So if you want, you can even then extend the bricks to the right and through, and the same with the brick stairs as well, so that kind of like divides the side of the house up. We can then place granite above the upside down brick stairs brick line. We can do this on the upper and lower part, and then all we have to do is simply place 3 layers of tinted glass on top of the granite, and that should be it really, or at least for this particular moment. Yeah, perfect, there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So the next job will of course be to come all the way over onto the other side and do the same thing. Okay, perfect. So this puts us in a good position now to move back towards the front, and I think it would be cool to build up the actual entrance. Okay, so first of all, the actual door is a little bit low as it stands. Because I kind of like misplaced the upside down quartz, everything should actually be one row higher. So if we simply extend the black concrete up and the upside down quartz stairs up, then this is the actual level that the door should be. And as such, we can place waxed exposed copper block underneath this. We can then extend out the 3 middle waxed exposed copper, 2 rows, 1, 2, place stairs in front, and then in front of that on the ground. So you can kind of see how we're going to climb up. And that should be it for that. So we're now going to grab bricks, and we're going to extend some bricks left and right of the copper and the stairs, just like this. And we can actually keep that original set of bricks that we have on the left and right, because we have to extend this up. These bricks want to be 7 rows high in total, so that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's count it properly on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. And we'll just fill in underneath these steps on the left and right. We'll also place chains on the outside of these stairs, so like here and here on these bricks just next to these stair blocks. We also want to place quartz pillar in front of the 2 high rows of bricks that we just placed. So just on the left and right, we want to place quartz pillar. And we want to place upside down quartz stairs on the left and right of the pillars, just 1 row below the top, just like this. We then, inside of the top of the pillar, and the bricks I suppose as well, we want to place upside down quartz stairs, like so, with smooth quartz slabs on top, and then extend in, up, join together, just like this. Perfect. We're then going to place 2 tinted glass on top of these 2 base quartz stairs. So 1, 2, 1, 2. We'll extend the door up. 1, 2, 1, 2. Join together. Dark oak door in the middle. And then we should be okay to either fill this in with black concrete, or we could also use a mixture of glass. But let's start off with the black concrete. Okay, so next we want to, using smooth quartz stairs, we want to place smooth quartz stairs above the 2 little windows that we have left and right of the door here. We then want to join them together, left and right, just at the bottom, using smooth quartz slabs. We're then going to flare down the center block and the block on the left and right. Then we're going to join the stairs at the top using smooth quartz slabs, and that also involves us just destroying the upside down stair that we placed earlier. And I think that this gives us a really cool stylized entrance. I think that that looks pretty nice. So now that that is done, the next thing that we're going to do is we're quickly just going to come up to the top here and just fill behind the entrance in with bricks. We want to make sure that we've got a row of bricks just at the base here above the smooth quartz slabs, and then we can fill this window in using just regular old glass like this, so the tinted glass. We may even want to shorten the window a bit on the left and right sides. We'll be adding shutters later anyway, but the end result should look like that, and I'm pretty happy with it. So next, in front of these steps here, I want to destroy a row and replace it using smooth stone. And then in front of this, destroy 1, 2, 3, 4, or rather 5, let's make it 5 rows, and replace it using grey concrete, like this. Then I want to destroy 1, 2, 3, 4 rows and replace it using smooth stone. So the end result should look a little bit like this. And this is going to be a little entrance. So basically, on the back 2 corners here, the back left corner, the back right corner, we want to move forwards and place bricks and extend those bricks up. And then we want to extend those bricks forward at the base. Place brick stairs on top of the outward bricks. And then we want to extend the back here outwards by 1, 2, 3, 4 granite. and 1, 2, 3, 4 granite. We'll then place bricks once again on the first granite with then sideways facing brick stairs, left and right, just like this. And there we go. I mean, there's a little bit more to it, but that's the sort of general gist. I'm going to grab some blackstone wool and some lanterns as well to kind of highlight the area because we have the materials for it. So these are going to act as just little 2 posts. And I'm also going to just mark out where the path goes. So like the smooth stone path that we have here, or more importantly, the one that we have at the entrance, we are going to extend it out until it just, basically the right one is going to go all the way to the right, and it's going to dig into the ground, and this path will ultimately lead us towards the back of the house. So that one's a little bit easier. But as we extend the path left, it only wants to go as far as the actual foundation for the house. So this path will come here, where the deep slate is, and it won't really go any further, as everywhere else is kind of going to be... It's basically just going to be a driveway. And I think that we'll actually leave it like that for now, because I'm quite happy. So that kind of just shows the entrance. I suppose what we could do is, if we come to the boundary on the right side of the build, we can kind of place a row of bricks on the right side of the build, leading from the front right-hand corner of the grid, leading all the way to the back corner, and then this kind of just builds us a wall. And then left of the bricks, we'll have a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grey concrete, and this row of 5 grey concrete will extend, and we'll fill all this in later and we'll do it quickly. This will extend and join here. So just to kind of like, I want to do the ends just so that it gives a very clear impression where this goes. So this will just extend here, and then the center of that will simply be filled in using grey concrete. And then as we come over here on the left side of the build, once again we can place a row of bricks that leads from the front left corner to the back left corner this time. So just a row of bricks, and we might even double up on the bricks as well. Just as we move towards the front of the build, we'll double up on the bricks, and we might double up on the bricks on the opposite side as well, but we can always do that later. Now we've kind of like went past that point. And then we want a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 grey concrete again, and we can just get this filled in with the grey concrete, and this will also connect to the path that we have at the front of the house. So this is basically just a really long drive. So here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then yeah, perfect. It will just connect. We'll fill this little hole in using grey concrete. This will also extend back towards where the double garage is. That's another thing that we have yet to build. We haven't extended up either of the 2 extensions that we have on the back of the build yet either. There's still a bunch of details left to do. We haven't even started on the roof. We have a lot still left to do, but hopefully you can kind of see how the front of the build is laid out a little bit better. We will come back to this point later. So next up, we are going to come all the way to the back of the house, because I've came to realize that we really do have to work on these extensions. So let's start with the granite one first of all. We'll call this granite and we'll call that deep slate. So on the granite, we have to place a row of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks on top of the entire base of the granite. And once that has been done, we will simply just carve out what we need. So, now that we have extended up all of those bricks, we have to also do a little bit more groundwork. So we need the polished granite once again, and we're going to start over here on this corner and place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4 polished granite extending outwards. Then leave a gap of 1 and place a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 polished granite and extend it inwards. Place bricks on top of the polished granite like this. And then we're going to... How shall we do this? We'll extend this little polished granite outwards by a couple of rows with the brick stairs with the bricks on top as well. And then we'll join this together at the top using polished diorite. Extend that forwards using diorite stairs. Underneath. Extend out. And then probably have something like this. So just a nice little path leading down. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. So we'll fill the top of this little patio area in using polished diorite as well. Later on we'll add chains and stuff to it, but the entrance is going to be from this corner here. We'll leave a gap of 1. We'll place 1, 2, 3. We'll destroy 3 rows. And then we will, at the top of this... Yeah, at the top of this, we'll destroy this and we'll replace it using brick stairs. So we want 3 rows and then above that, regular old brick stairs. Leave a gap of 1 between the brick stairs and destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4. And we'll replace this using brick stairs as well. Destroy 2 rows underneath, and this will do for the window section. Let's get rid of the granite because it's kind of annoying actually. And then we'll fill this in with glass, just like so. We could really do with some black stained glass pane to kind of, because the doors are quite simple, so we'll just have to re-grab those. So the doors are just like on the left and right, they're just made out of the black stained glass pane. We could also do with chains and the light grey carpet, because I just want to get that place. So just kind of like around the edge of this patio area, I just want to have chains. And then the light grey carpet just stacked on top of the chains like this. Just makes it for a nice set of railings, in my opinion. I don't know why I'm having such trouble placing them. It shouldn't be that hard, but I guess it kind of is at the moment. So we can place these here, here, and here. So that's looking pretty good. There will be a path. I'm starting to wonder if we've actually got enough room at the back of the house for the garden. I don't know if I've made a slight boo-boo or not. We'll have to see. But there is going to be a little bit of a path of smooth stone leading from around these stairs here. And it wants to be... I pretty much want like a double row wide path everywhere. So here leading from these stairs... These stairs will lead around the edge of this little patio area. It will extend around here, the curvature of the house, extend out another 2 rows, and then it will connect to this bit in the corner which we haven't made yet. So if we grab the polished granite and we leave a gap of 2, so 1, 2, and then place granite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... And we want to have a set of diorite stairs and also polished diorite that will form... Basically, these stairs want to lead into what will eventually be the basement. So we want a set of 3 stairs extending down. And then in the base here, we're going to have polished diorite. And then ultimately, we'll have a set of double doors here. So we'll probably use a little bit of glass for this. And we can even grab doors just to represent it. But these will only become important if the inside gets done. And from here, we can just like grab the deep slate. And we can extend the deep slate down into the ground on the left and right side. So just to make it look a little bit nicer. So here and underneath this granite wall. I mean, we could even use deep slate here as well if we wanted to. Just so that it matches on both sides. So there we go. That's pretty cool. Iron bars were just... That is not iron bars. Doesn't even look like them. So iron bars we're just going to have just on the side here. Maybe we'll even flare that last one down like this to look like a better set of railings. And then this is where the smooth stone comes in again. So the smooth stone will then join to this, extend around here, and behind these stairs. So just like this, this, this. Perfect. So there we go. I'm pretty happy with that. Although we are not done with this little, what I'm calling the kitchen extension, the granite extension. So on the side here, at the same level that we have the chains, we want to leave a gap of 1 and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to say 5. Gap of 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. And then we're going to replace this using upside down brick stairs. Then destroy 2 rows above the upside down brick stairs. We're going to place some glass above this, and then above the glass we're simply going to have regular brick stairs. So this will just form the windows, and it might even be possible, I might even just shave these windows down on the left and right sides, to be honest, because they do look a tad bit big for my liking. So there we go, that's a little bit better, I think. I like that a lot more. And I also want to have a couple of drain pipes on this part as well. Maybe, actually, I'm starting to think that really we didn't give ourselves enough room here. That's bad. I guess what we could always do as well is we could just, if you have the room, if you don't have the room, then you simply just can't add the drain pipe. But I could give myself a little bit of an extension if I like. So I would like the drain pipe. So I'll add a little bit of an extension in right about, where would it be? 1, 2 here, so that I can maintain a 2-row wide path all the way around, so I can have my drain pipe here and also here as well. And then we will also need a little bit more room out at the back, probably an extra couple of rows on the outside of these smooth stones. So if not, we will adapt, but that should be okay. I'm pretty sure that as long as you made a grid that was as big as was supposed to be, then you'll be fine. I think that I may have shortened my grid ever so slightly, but you should be okay if you've actually made the grid to the specifications, unlike it seems I was able to. So the next thing that we're going to do now that we've made this particular part of the build is we are going to focus on the deep slate extension. Actually, first of all, before it becomes a problem, we are going to add another row of bricks on top of the granite extension, just all the way around the edge. And after this, we are going to, on top of the deep slate area, add another layer of bricks on top of it, and it is going to equal the height of the extension to the left. So that's a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on top of every single one of these deep slates. And after that's been done, I'm just going to fill the top in with, say, polished diorite, because this is also a little balcony area as well. So let's get this filled in with the polished diorite, and there we go, that's perfect. And for the corners of this, we can grab the black stone wall and the black glass pane as well. And on top of the corners, we'll place black stone wall and we'll join it back to the house using black glass pane. Join these together and also to this back wall as well. And then from this glass pane in the wall here, we will leave a gap of 1 and then destroy 1, 2, 3, I do believe just 3 rows. And we want to extend that up 1, place glass pane on the left and right, and then above this, place a row of brick stairs. So that should give us something which should look like this, which looks a little bit weird without the rest of the patio, but it looks a lot better later. Alternatively, I'm just thinking here, we could actually spruce this up a little bit with maybe some quartz pillar on the left and right side, make a little bit of a better feature out of it, and we could even add some, say, like quartz slab, maybe just across, maybe not across the top, maybe like above this, just so that it looks a little bit better. I think that actually looks pretty good. I'm not unhappy with that. We could even have the kind of like the quartz stairs extending inwards like this, and maybe we could even kind of like, there we go. That looks a little bit more interesting, I think. Maybe if we were to even, okay, I think maybe we're getting a bit too crazy. Which is better, the left half or the right half? I like the right half a little bit better, so we'll just revert that back to this. There we go. That's, no. There we go. You know, we got a little experimental, and it's okay. we ended up with this. I think that that looks pretty okay. We might change that a little bit later on, but anyway. Next up, we have to add a window down here. So, basically, where we have the window up above here onto the balcony, we want the same window built into the brick layer. So if we start on the bottom right corner, we want to leave a gap of 1, 2, and then destroy a row of 1, 2, 3. Place upside down stairs here. Destroy 2 layers above, and we're going to use tinted glass, and we're going to place 2 rows of tinted glass. A row of brick stairs up above this. And that's perfect. That should coincide with what we have up there. And then we have to make a little entrance into this area. So these first 2 rows of bricks just on the right side at the back, this is going to be a little bit of an entrance. And we can just replace this layer of diorite here with some, or rather deep slate with diorite. And I think that that's right. That's where we'll be walking around into, yeah. And then we want to extend this outwards by 2 rows, and then just join this forwards down to the ground. And then we want to use deep slate and place deep slate extending out from the house in a row of 2. And then a couple of rows of bricks on top of this. And we might even make it so that the deep slate extends inwards a little bit as well towards the back. We might even make this a little bit, we'll make that a row of 3, and then later on we will be refining this. But we also want to add upside down smooth stairs around the top of the balcony as well. I'm going to have to do something about those doors because I really do not like that design that I've made. I think that that's a little bit better. It's basically just 3 rows of pillar quartz, slab on top, extend across, row of black concrete above the glass line, and then quartz slab below the lower half of the concrete. I think that that just looks a lot better looking at that. I'm a lot happier with that. Now, the next thing that we are going to do is maybe we should construct the garage. Okay, so for the garage, we are going to come to the back corner of the house here, so, you know, kind of where we've been working. So this deep slate here, we want to leave a gap of 6 extending out the back of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on this 6th block here, we want to move left, and this is the starting position. We're going to simply just place a granite and then 3 on top. So 1, 2, 3, like this. Behind that, 2 bricks, 1, 2. Extend the brick to the right by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend backwards by 11, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then we will extend all the way across, and we should connect to this brick wall here. So coming back to the front, we're going to 1 row inwards from the granite, place 1, 2, 3, 4 quartz stairs extending left. Granite on the end, extend forwards, extend a further 1, 2, 3, 4 stairs going left, granite on the end, extend forwards, and maybe we'll even make this granite here as well. So all of the granite wants to get extended up so that it is equal in height to the very first row that we placed. Smooth quartz stairs extended upwards. A row of 3 should actually be satisfactory. And then I want to grab, I mean, polished diorite would actually do for this, or maybe, do we have something else? Maybe some light grey concrete might look good too. So just above and in front of the top row of the stairs, we'll have the light grey concrete. We want a little window on the front of the garage, so I reckon we'll make the 2 middle blocks here stairs, raise up the bricks on the left and right, join them together at the top. In the middle of this, we'll place a little window. On the right side here, we'll extend the bricks back, but we have to make room for an entrance back here. So somewhere, probably about here, we'll have a double row entrance, or yeah, just a double wide entrance. And maybe we'll even set it like 1 row back to make it look a little bit more interesting. We could even use diorite for this. I'm just trying to make things look a little bit more interesting. Maybe we'll like even set it like a little back from this, and we'll have like a double door leading into the garage. Maybe even flare the top, maybe even have like a little archway. Maybe just here on the left. On the right, we'll have like a little arch. Have a lantern hanging here, just so that it looks a little bit different. Maybe even some light grey concretes above the door. I just want it to, I don't want it to look so uniform. I want it to look a little bit more interesting. And then we can just raise up the rest of the bricks, and we'll do the roof for the garage. Maybe we'll even add like a drain pipe here and there. We'll do the roof for the garage when we do all of the other roofs, because we're going to do every single roof together because they're all very, very similar. So once the size of the garage has been raised up to pretty much equal the height of the rest of the garage, what we can then do is head to the front of the house, and we can add a couple little bit more bits of detail before we do the roof. Okay, so on the front of the build, we are going to begin by adding a row of upside down smooth quartz stairs just along the top here. Okay, so this is just on the front outward part of the house. So for the windows on the front of the build, I think that I'm actually going to change them a little bit, because I'd like to make them a little bit more detailed, and it'll help this next part of the build. So where we have the large windows on the front of the house, on the left and right sides in the middle, we're going to shrink the windows down just by one row like this on the inside portion. So we're just going to shrink the windows down, and we'll just seal this up using brick, and then we will replace that diorite there using upside down quartz slabs. So I think that will look a little bit nicer this way, because we can then, if we come all the way up to the top of the build, we can take let's destroy this row. So on the top of the build, on the outer layer of quartz stairs that we have here, we want to place a 2x2 square of black glass with polished granite on top. We then want to use a block of quartz on the left and right sides of the build of the window, so on the glass and of the granite portion. What we can then do is place quartz slabs on the left side of the lower quartz, so extend it outwards, in, up, and do this on the opposite side here. So on the side, forwards, left, in, left, up, just like this. And we could even make let's make the roof spike a little bit by using quartz stairs. So there we go. That's looking pretty good, actually. I really like the effect. And how we separate this as well is we can also place polished diorite slab on the outside of these stairs. So just to give you a little bit of a taste, there we go. So now these windows line up a little bit better. They're also a little bit chunkier. Originally, they were going to be a little bit thinner, but I wanted them to be a bit bigger, hence why we've changed things a bit. But I think we've changed it for the better. So let's do this also on the opposite side here. So where we have this window, we can just shave off the inside of that there. 2x2 square of glass, granite on top, block of quartz on the outside of this, regular block of quartz, not smooth. We'll place the slabs on the side, extend in, up here, and then we'll place smooth quartz stairs on the top. And there we go. That's looking pretty good. So I'm quite happy with that. And now that that has been done, I really want to get the roof portions done, because it's a huge part of this build. So for the roof portions, all we're going to need pretty much, unless we encounter some other stuff, some annoying stuff, we'll need the dark oak stairs, dark oak slabs, we'll need the smooth quartz stairs, and we will also need the polished diorite slabs. And I might even add a couple of drain pipes in as I'm just running around. And we can extend the chimneys up. This will require polished granite, black stone wall, polished andesite stairs, and some flower pots. And hopefully that will allow us to put an end to the roof saga. So, first of all, for the roof, we're going to go all the way around the edge of the building. And we are on the main roof going to place upside down smooth quartz stairs. Just like this, right? So this is going to be kind of like the first layer of the main roof. And after the upside down smooth quartz stairs, we already had a little bit of a taste of it on the front, but we will be adding the diorite slabs, the polished diorite slabs. Once this is all connected together, we'll be adding the polished diorite slabs around the edge of the smooth quartz slabs. So this is just going to, it does a few things. It makes it easier to add the drain pipes because they kind of sit snugly behind the diorite slab layer. It adds a bit of depth in regards to the windows that we have on the front of the build. It adds a little bit of, is a little bit of like material variation. Like it's quite close to quartz slabs, but it's, you know, it's just got a little bit more interest. It does just make things look a little bit nicer. So now that that's done, the way that the main roof is going to be done, this is going to be, so the main roof, it starts off like this. It's a big rectangle and it extends from the middle of the build, right? So it starts from the middle of the build, and it's basically just a big rectangle that sits on and in between the brick rectangle that we have for the center of the build, right? Because the build's like got a central point and then it expands out on the left and right side of it. I think that hopefully you guys can kind of like see that once we just hop up above. You can see that we've got this big central point, right? Well, from this central point, we want to have probably, I think it's going to be about, because it wants to be higher, so here, here, here. So we're going to have the dark oak stairs equal in height to the quartz stairs, and then we will have a layer of dark oak slabs on top, okay? Or you could even make it a little bit higher. You could make the roof peak just a tad bit more, so maybe so it supersedes that, and then we can have a layer of dark oak slabs. Alright? So that's how that's going to go, and that will all join together in a square / rectangular-like fashion. And then on the two sides of the build here, we will simply have 2 layers of dark oak stairs that just sit along the outside here. It's just 2 simple layers. They'll sit on the outside, they'll connect to the main roof, and then we will have dark oak slabs just up above these 2 particular wings of the house. So you can kind of see the difference in height. If you want to, you can have it a little bit higher, but that's how big I want it to be. So that is going to be the center part of the roof, it's going to be a bit bigger, and then the 2 wings, that will be a little bit smaller. Okay, so with the main portions of the roofs done, I think it's now a good time to just do the chimneys. So the chimneys, I'd like it if the granite of the chimneys was higher, at least more than half a row higher than the dark oak wood slabs. And then if we just grab the andesite stairs and the flower pots here, I simply want to, oh, and the middle of the chimneys have to be something as well. So deep slate might work well for this. So for the middles of the chimneys, I'm just going to use deep slate, polished andesite stairs on the front and the back, a couple of black stone walls on the upside down andesite, and then if we place some pots, then we have a pretty decent looking chimney. And of course, if we come over onto the opposite side over here, then we can do the same thing. So I do want the chimneys more than half a row higher, even though of course that's not their max height, the ultimate height. Deep slate on the front and the back, in the middle, and then andesite stairs on the front and the back with some parts, and I think that that gives quite a nice little effect there. So after that, the next natural progression is for us to do some of the other roofs. So for the next roof, and for pretty much, I mean, there's only 2 roofs now. We're going to be doing the same thing. Around the kitchen roof, we will place upside down smooth quartz stairs just all the way around the edge of the top, and then we will place, again, it'll probably be just a couple of rows of dark oak stairs just around, and then we will cap it off using some dark oak slabs. And we will do literally the same thing for the garage roof as well, so that shouldn't be too difficult for us to achieve. As a matter of fact, for the extension, I might leave off the diorite, just for a little bit of variation. But for the garage, I do think that I will be going with the exact same technique. I might even raise up the roof of the garage another row, so that we get to keep the light grey concrete intact. Okay, that is looking pretty good. I'm quite happy with the roof. It goes rather nicely. I might even just... yeah, there we go. I'm just shaving the building off there so that the granite sticks out a little bit. And the last little tiny roof that we've got to do is over here. So I've actually just got to shorten this little wall. And this is basically just going to... if we just place from this double high brick wall, if we place some dark oak stairs and some smooth... well, we could even do upside down. And some smooth quartz stairs on the side of it. Have some upside down stairs, and boom, there you go. Nice and simple. I think that that's looking pretty good. We can add some drain pipes in a few different places. So this is going to be made using andesite wall, and the andesite wall is basically... oh, and if we take out the middle block here, then we can have a little bit more of a realistic drain pipe there. And we've already got a couple on the side here, but mainly then on the front of the build, just where the large middle part of the build kind of like expands out into 2 smaller wings, I would call them, then andesite would be good to use as a bit of a drain pipe. It just breaks up the materials a little bit. So something that's been bothering me is a lot of windows are missing shutters in the form of dark oak trapdoors. Now these help to just break up the bricks a little bit, because the majority of the build is bricks. And if we place a bunch of dark oak trapdoors all over the place, just like this, like just next to the windows, then it does just help to break up the boredom that you can get from the windows a little bit. And I'm noticing that it might look good to extend out some of the upside down brick stairs, especially when it comes to the front of the build. So these big windows, more specifically, like if the upside down brick stairs spanned the entire window, I think that that would look pretty good. And we can make the same thing happen down here as well. Then we can stack all of these. I just think it will look a little bit better, and if we keep that different from the 2, what I call the wings, then I think that that will help quite a bit. We'll also place shutters just here on this little central window as well, and then we will probably leave it at that for the front. The sides don't really require any. I might be tempted to add some next to these windows on the side of what I call the kitchen extension. Because in my mind there's a kitchen here, even though it's not been built yet, but in my mind I think that looks pretty good. We don't really need one for this window. This window I think could benefit from it. It's basically anywhere that there's a window that's kind of just like in a sea of bricks. I think it just makes it look a little bit better. And there we go. I'm pretty happy with that now. That has definitely helped to add a little bit of variation. Now, for the entrance, we are missing some more stuff. So, at the entrance, I'd like to have a couple of pots just next to the railings here, or behind the railings, I should say. A stone button to act as a doorbell, and a birch sign to outline the house number. We'll just make this numero uno. We could even add a couple of lanterns just behind here as well, just to provide a little bit of light. Light grey carpet on top of the chains, just make the railings look a little bit more interesting, I think. We need a plant to go in the flower pots that we've just made, so azaleas are always a good choice. Some carpet would actually look good, so that it looks as though that we've got like a doormat. There we go, that's not looking too bad at all. And beyond that, if we move out a little bit, have we got the iron railings still? We do. So the iron, or the iron bars I should say, can be used left and right here to make a little bit of a faux gate. If we grab the bricks themselves and the brick stairs, then we can come to the left and right sides of the house and raise up. Well, that's just a bunch of materials, isn't it? And we can raise up this wall here to be probably about 1, 2, 3 high, and the same here, so just like to the left. And if we place brick stairs extending inwards with some iron bars underneath, I think that is just a cool design feature, and we can have some lanterns, and it kind of just helps to highlight things a little bit. So we could even set these a little bit backwards so that we've got more of a path actually. So maybe if we just extend these back a bit, and then the pavement can better integrate into the actual, or this house rather can better integrate into the pavement. It's not really the other way around. Like, we want the house to integrate with the environment, not the environment integrate into the house. And kind of like in the similar sort of vein, like some oak leaves wouldn't go amiss. So probably just connecting this together here, and we'll do the same thing over here. So over here we will have, so this is the line here. So extend this up here, iron bars on the opposite side, 1, 2, 3 bricks. Extend in, whoops, there we go, extend in brick stairs, and then we can have oak leaves, and then we are able to have a path. We will sort that out later, but still kind of like in this general area, I want a post box, so that's going to be a dark oak fence, red shulker box with an oak trapdoor flipped up in front of it. And as we are dealing in shulker boxes right now, we're going to grab the lime shulker box. We need a few of them actually. So we need a lime shulker box, brown shulker box, and a blue shulker box. And these are just going to look like bins. So in Britain that'd be like, and depending upon your region actually as well, that'd be like a garden waste, general waste, recycling. So feel free to change it up depending upon where, you know, what your sort of bins may or may not look like, but that is what we're going for right there. And beyond that, I mean, there's still quite a few things left to do, but it's just like really small things. So like, for instance, like there's a tree, and the tree is made using like dark oak logs, and it's made using some dark oak fence and some dark oak fence gate. And this tree is just in the front right-hand corner of the build, probably about here. And I'd say that the tree's probably about as high as, a little bit higher than the guttering. And we want to extend it out a little bit in a few different ways. We can add fence to it, and we can add fence gates, and we can extend it out in a couple of different ways, and we can make it look a little bit interesting, kind of like mold it a little bit, and adding fence gates to it is a good way of doing that. It makes it just look a little bit... It just makes it look a little bit more interesting than just a boring branchless tree, or even just like a ready-grown tree. And we're not going to have any leaves on it because, in my imagination, it's either autumn/winter. But you could add leaves to it if you wanted to. I don't want to cover up the house as well, which is kind of a big thing. Beyond that, like... I want to... Oh, I guess on the front of the build. So this is something that... Actually, we'll leave it until later. So, moving around now to the back of the build, what do we have to do here? Okay, so on the back of the build, we have a couple of little patio areas to make. This is quite easy. So on the smaller patio, the kitchen patio, I'm going to place a brown glazed terracotta here in between the door and the window, chuck a couple of oak leaves on top of it. And then some cobbled deep slate stairs behind that, facing this way. Couple of scaffolding, couple of deep slate stairs on top, couple of flower pots. Simple, nice, effective patio area. We'll be doing the same thing for this upper patio here as well, except we'll be adding more glazed terracotta. So maybe we'll just go with the 3 glazed terracotta, and then we'll add oak leaves on top. Then, right next to it, we'll have... Actually, we'll leave a gap of 1, 2 stairs, scaffolding, stairs, flower pot. Simple, easy, effective, looks great. What more is there to say? Now, below this area, I do feel that it's a bit boring. It's just a big stone wall. I'm not a fan of it. So, what we're going to do is dig below it, and we're going to make... I mean, we could even, like, have a flower bed, like, all the way over here. So, I'm thinking just a couple of rows of podzol, like this. And then, around the podzol, oak trapdoors. And this is just going to look like one of those... I mean, you've probably seen, like, the flower beds that have, like, a little tiny fence around them. That's what I'm imagining here, and we could even have a similar thing over here as well. So, like, just along... I'm thinking parallel to the small patio, that we could just have podzol like this, with oak trapdoors around the podzol. So... just like this, and we'll fill these in a little bit later. That oak trapdoor is redundant, so here, fill that in a little bit later. That will look good. We'll chuck some flowers, some plants in there. I'm also thinking that to break this area up as well, I'm thinking that we have a trellis area. So oak trapdoors would actually look good as a trellis, as I'm thinking about it now, but I'm also thinking maybe some oak fence gate. And the point of this is that we're also going to just chuck some oak leaves. So basically just above here, and maybe like here, and here we'll have some oak leaves. And then if we grab some vines, then we can, well, I don't know where they've gone. So if we grab some vines, I'll repeat myself, then we can hang this off the leaves. And then in between, so just like this. And that whole area should just vine itself up eventually, and it'll just make it look a little bit more interesting. I'm realizing as well that these bricks here should extend across the back and join to the garage, and then that kind of gives us an idea of... it gives us a good idea of like what we're working with in terms of space. So here... and then we're kind of like working with this space for the back garden then, which I'm quite happy with. And beyond this... so the only details that remain are very, very simple tasks that are just a bit time consuming. So, for instance, we have to add a bunch of bushes around the house. This is made using lime and green terracotta. There's not really a method to it, just be messy and add them around the plain parts of the house. The 2 flower beds I'm filling in with rose bushes and lily of the valley, and I have added a spruce fence along the back garden. In addition to this, I have made the drive, I've connected it all together with the street, I'm adding a small patio of diorite at the back of the building, connecting from the conservatory to the garage. I'm refining that fence that I made earlier because it has to be shaped better, cleaning up the garden a little bit. All very, very small, yet time-consuming jobs. I have to make a path that leads from the right side of the house all the way to the back. And there you go. I mean, all of that takes a very, very long time, or if you time-lapse it, a very, very short time. So, for instance, on the front of the build, we have a bunch of hedges to make using lime and green terracotta. They're the primary materials. This is basically just a little bit of randomization of a hedge. So it just involves a little bit of back and forth with some placing, I mean literally almost randomizing some lime terracotta and some green terracotta. And unfortunately this can't really be mass produced, we kind of just do it at random. We also want it on the side of the house to some extent as well. I find that if you don't try and make it look too perfect, then it usually comes out looking quite okay. We can have a little bit on the side of the house here as well. There's not too much room, but you know, we can make it work a little bit. So here and here. I believe on the opposite side of the house, we may also be able to achieve this as well. In this little crevice here, there's actually nothing left to be done. So we can have one here, and then maybe just a little bit, just little bits of hedge like that, just kind of like on the kind of like the outskirts. So we want to fill the flower beds up. That's basically just every flower bed. I'm just going to stick roses right at the back, and then I'm going to stick some lily of the valley in front. If you want to get a little bit crazy with the design of this, feel free, but I'm looking for more volume. I'm not looking to add as much detail as I am, just like add a bunch of volume to these areas. So we're going with that. Then I need this back wall here, I want to turn it into a fence. So, using the power of World Edit, which I wasn't going to do for this video, but it just seems as though that it'd be a little bit easier than doing it manually. Like, we're just making tasks longer for no reason. We're just going to have a fence on the back leading to the garage here, and maybe even for the garage. No, actually, because that will change the inside the garage. So there we go. I do want brick walls on these sides, so those can stay. I want to have a smooth stone path on the front of the build. So this is relatively easy to do. So we can just make these entire 2 rows smooth stone here, and can do it manually here. We've got a bunch of grey concrete to place, which is why I'm using World Edit, so we can have that placed, and we can come all the way over here, and we can have this place here. So now we have a big giant grey concrete drive leading from the main road all the way into the house, and we've got a pavement. This is just opposite a large field that we have. This area here, we probably want to extend the smooth stone backwards like this. And then we also want to have grey concrete leading all the way to the garage. So if we just change that here, then perfect. So now we have a runway all the way up to our garage. And we'll have a couple of smooth stone just on the outside to make it look as though that this is a viable footpath if we wanted it to be. Now, from here to here, we're going to have, let's see, we'll replace the grass with diorite. There we go. That looks pretty good. And we'll also have diorite leading to the stairs here as well. So probably from about here. So if we just... Actually, we can just set that. There we go. That's perfect. So what else is left? I mean, we could even shape the fence here actually a little bit better. So this fence could actually lead all the way to, say, here. So, like here. And then the back garden can be shaped just a little bit better. And then we can bring the fence in just a tad. So delete that. We can bring the fence in. So from here to here. There we go. So it's a little bit more shapely. I quite like that. It hugs the garage a little bit. And the only thing that may be missing is... I don't know what to do about the lawn. I might just leave it good old grass, ladies and gentlemen. I might just leave... Unless we want to put some stripes in it. I mean, that's possible. But then we've got to figure out what colour to use. So, like, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So, 1, 2, 3, colour. 1, 2, 3, colour. 1, 2, colour. 1, 2, colour. It doesn't really work out that well. So, I think that we might just leave it as is. And, yeah, I'm not too unhappy. We could also have... I did consider the fact that we could also have a treehouse as well. That is the majority of the build done, but there are a couple of little things that we could certainly add to this house just to kind of like tease it a little bit more that this is kind of like based on, you know, a certain other house, for instance. So, just in the interest of fun, we're going to make a little treehouse in the back garden. So, grabbing some dark oak logs, and somewhere in the back garden here, I'm thinking, you see where this like row of 3 is here? Maybe we'll pick the middle block and we'll come all the way over to the end, and we'll have a bunch of dark oak logs, maybe equally, maybe a little bit lower than, yeah, okay, so maybe a couple rows higher than the fence, a little bit lower than that balcony there. Chuck some oak planks on top and extend it outwards in every single direction, like this. Add another row to the front and the back. I think that that's looking pretty good. Maybe just another row to the sides. There we go. Now, let's raise up the sides by a couple of rows as well, so that we can actually get inside of this thing. We're not going to make it look exactly like Kevin's actual treehouse. It'll bear some resemblance, though, definitely. So, if we make it so that the walls are about 3 rows high, and then Kevin's treehouse does have a flat roof, so we'll just have a couple of spruce slabs here, just hanging off of the front of the treehouse. Here we go. And there's also a little balcony on Kevin's as well, so we can do that using oak planks. And then maybe we could use some oak trap doors to kind of... so what could we do? So if we just place some black concrete, say, and then if we just place some oak trap doors like this, so that we can get out onto it. And I would prefer it to have a little bit more shape underneath, so I'm thinking maybe some oak slab. Where the little balcony for this is, just oak slabs, or we could even reuse the spruce slabs. That looks pretty good. So it's a really, really simple treehouse, but I mean, what do you expect? And then out of the top of it, I don't think that we're... Yeah, I guess out of the top of it, we'll also add like a little bit of the tree. We'll add some dark oak fence to kind of look like branches and stuff, and I think that'd look pretty good. We're going to hang a black banner with a skull and bones. I mean, that's easily made using black banner, skull charge, white dye in there, easy peasy. Ladders leading all the way up from the bottom. We can break into the treehouse. That's pretty cool. And then if we wanted to, it'd be kind of cool if we could parkour our way onto the treehouse. I mean, I didn't run there. That's a... Hang on. It's a tricky angle. You can actually parkour your way onto the treehouse, which is kind of cool. If you can do it from that angle, I'm sure that you can actually do it from this angle. Yeah, cool. That's pretty cool. So it might even be fun to kind of like take away the ladders, and then you've kind of like got to parkour onto the treehouse. Hanging off underneath it, if we have like a little swinging tire, so like iron bars hanging down black concrete, stone button, got a little tire. If you did want to make it a little bit more easily accessible, then we could add a little bit of a zip line or a chain, but I think we're just going to leave it at a little bit of parkour. And you could hide something in here if you wanted to. Like, you could actually make it worth like somebody's while to actually... Okay, so my ender chests are a bit broken, but I mean, that makes it even more intriguing. But you could add something fun in there if you wanted to. And last but not least, like the other tiny little thing that you might want to add is like a blue van to either the front of the street here, or we could add it kind of like over here. I'm thinking it might be cool in front of the street. Yeah, so that it looks as though it's like casing the joint, some might say. So for this van, I'm thinking of something like comically simple. Like I'm thinking black concrete on the ground, light blue concrete in front, couple of light blue concretes behind, black concrete. Extend the whole thing across using a row of blue concrete and then copy what you have on that opposite side onto here. If we stick a row of black stained glass pane along the front with light blue concrete along the entire edge, kind of like this. We could even add a door to the back if we wanted to. Then I'm thinking just a couple of stone buttons for wheels. Because, again, I kind of want to keep this like small and silly. I kind of like it like this. I think it's kind of like cute like this. A couple of glow item frames in the front. We could even add like a ladder for the middle. Couple of item frames on the back. Red wool. Add a door to the back of the van, but we'll make it so that it doesn't open. And here we go. What do we need? Just some sort of white concrete block, white anything block, honestly, for the headlights. And then if you wanted to, you could actually put a sign. Or maybe just like, where could this go? I mean, you could actually like use the license plate and you could just like put Wet Bandit 1. And I think in the actual film, it's something like plumbing services. I can't remember what it says, but I can't spell surfaces. Hang on. There we go. So plumbing services would be pretty funny, just to kind of like put on the side, and maybe we could even just have like some ladders on the side of the van or something. I think it's just like a fun little Easter egg, and because it looks so like not like a van or something that I typically make, like it stands out, or at least that's kind of the hope. And in doing that, ladies and gentlemen, I think that we've kind of completed the build here. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching this video. Remember, if you are interested in an interior tutorial, 2,000 likes before the new year, and I will 100% get on it. If you have enjoyed this tutorial, please do remember to subscribe to the channel. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my videos sent directly to your sub box. And if you would like to make anything that you may have seen in the background, check out the description below and the top of the comment section for the City Builds playlist. Absolutely everything in this world has a tutorial, and if it doesn't, it will have one soon, so feel free to check that out. And last but not least, if you would like to play in Stream City for yourself, channel members get a brand new fresh download link, Java Edition only, to Stream City every single time it is updated. You will be able to find that in the members community area if you are a member. It's something that you might be interested in if you want to become a member. If not, that's completely fine too. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.